Hi, my name is Andreas. I'm one of the 3 founders of CI Hub. I will tell you a little bit more about CI Hub at the end of that session. And as this is not a commercial, let us focus on the 3 essential things that will make your life a lot easier when dealing with cloud storages and DEM systems within your creative work. In the last year, so many things have changed. And there are so many new services available you can work with. When I started with Adobe InDesign, and this was version 1.2, all of my data was on my local drive and maybe in my novel network. When my customers wanted to share their data with me, they put it on a floppy disk drive and sent it via the postal services. Today, your customers work with SharePoint, with Dropbox, with Google Drive, with Brand Folder, with Xylem, Aprimo, just to name a couple of them. That's amazing. It makes storing, sharing, and backing up so easy. It allows us to collaborate on a whole new level than ever before. But now you have to deal with all of these systems. Each system has a different way on logging in. You have a different login. You have a different URL. Each system has its specialties. It has its own navigation or its own interface. That makes it different to find and to navigate all of your assets. But also it delivers cool features like versioning, downloading in different renditions that you can use within your work within the perfect file size for each different situation. So in this session, we will show you on how to use all of these cool features to your benefit and how to avoid some of the pitfalls that comes with all of these systems. In this session is planned as a very hands-on session, and it will give you a lot of information you can take away. So let's start. If you want to repeat what we present in this session here, and if you want to use the benefits, you should have your Adobe Creative Cloud installed, and you should have the CI Hub connector ready on your machine. It's really easy to install. You just go to the Adobe Exchange Store, click on Install, and it will be part of your Creative Cloud applications in a minute. If you need more instructions, at the end of that session, we give you all the details. For today, we have prepared a very common use case. We want to sell a travel destination for September. So the team has to create a brochure, artwork, a video, and a social media post. And they all have to work together to achieve that. We all are in different locations, and my team consists of a designer, a layouter, a graphic artist, and a social media team. Also, we have to check with our legal team if we can use all of the assets based on the permissions and based on the rights we've purchased. Our customers are using a Dropbox for all of his assets, a Pixelbox DEM solution to store the travel agent's metadata and images, and we're using Getty Images as our stock archive if we want to purchase images. I think you're all aware of this constellation. This is very common in an agency if you work with customers. So, it's a pleasure for me to introduce Gerd. He will lead us through the session, and he will show us on how to work with all of the Adobe tools in a really perfect way. Hello, Gerd. It's nice to have you here.
Hi, Andy. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be part of this session. And hi to all of you.
Gerd, it's really a pleasure to have you here. Let us start with the session and dive right into the campaign.
Yes, sure. Let me switch over to my computer and start editing a brochure with the Adobe applications and the CI Hub panel. I'm in InDesign. The CI Hub connector is open, and I'm creating a Dropbox connection by clicking the plus button. My preferred browser comes up, and after logging in, I get a status message. Among other connections I've already set up, I'm now switching to Dropbox. As of now, I'm able to search and browse my Dropbox content. I can browse by clicking the folder icon, or I can use the breadcrumb to navigate. It is really easy to switch between source systems. Google Drive, Getty Images, or DAM systems are connected with just one click. Let's open our InDesign document, which is stored in Dropbox. They look pretty much the same, but we can browse through the pages in the preview image. And yes, we've seen it 1,000 times. The links are missing. But no worries. We will check this later on with the CI Hub links panel. We need to create the cover page and fill in some content. Let's start with a cover image. Select the asset and drag and drop it into the target frame. And if you set up your target frames with fill proportionally, you'll get a good result. I'm going to add the title, and to do so, I'm using an InDesign snippet. In the reverse case, if you want to upload a snippet into your Dropbox, just click the Add File button whilst your grouped elements are selected. That's it. Now I'm going to place the early bird element, and this is an Illustrator file. Let's go to page 4. I'm placing an image as I did with the cover, and if you want to, you can use low-res images during the layout process. The replacement with high-res can be done automatically, but I will cover this later on. Here's the placeholder for the author. And in my case, all employee images are stored separately in a DAM system. So let's switch to the Pixelbox DAM, use the full text search, and here we go. And that's where metadata is really useful. I can drag and drop metadata content from the panel into a text frame, and this is really a huge time saver. So some assets need to be adjusted. So let's switch to Adobe Illustrator. And as you can see, the same interface as we have in InDesign. So it's easy to handle. I open this Illustrator file, do some changes, and if I use the panel consistently, I avoid overwriting the original file. I'm going to create a version, and that's how it works. If necessary, I can always switch back to former versions. Now let's go back to InDesign. The relinking can be done automatically, but I will cover this later on. For now, let's update the placed file manually. And therefore, I'm using the Replace feature. Let's switch to page 4 again. The image of the author should have a more friendly background. And you may remember this file is stored in the DAM. So let's switch to Adobe Photoshop. Select the DAM connection, do a full text search, and open the image. Change the background. And as we did before in Illustrator, let's create a version of this image. And you can leave a comment which will be stored in the metadata. So back to InDesign and replace the image. Sometimes you don't need to have a version. You want to have a new asset, and maybe you want to move it from a DAM system into your Dropbox or whatever system without leaving your Adobe application. So this is how it works. Choose a target system, create a folder if you want to, tap the Add File button and change the file name, jump into the created folder, and upload the new image from Photoshop directly into your selected target system. And the same in Illustrator. But in this case, the source system and the target system is Dropbox. So we have to ensure that the file names are different. And the CI Hub connector reminds you to do so. Type a new file name and that's it. And to replace the file in the cover, I'm using again the replace feature. Another topic is how to deal with images that are stored on your computer. It's very handy. Place the image in InDesign. Choose a target system. And upload the new file. That's it. Let's check the links and the rights of the used assets. The first step is to save the InDesign doc as a new version into the cloud system. The second step, click the links button, this little gear wheel over here, and you will see a list of assets that are linked to the document. And if I hover the red computer icon, I can see that some files are not locally available, but the green ones are. So let's check the status of the assets by clicking this little button here. The panel is now searching the Dropbox or any other connected system to see if these files are available. The warning icon means there is a new version available. By clicking the little arrow, I can unfold the details section of the asset. This link leads me to the page where the asset is placed, and now I can decide if I'm okay with the new version or not. If yes, just relink it. When the relink is done, you can see the Dropbox logo in front of the file name. This is the source system of this file. But let's do a bulk operation. All files are relinked and we are ready to produce a print file. The relink feature can also be used to replace all linked images with the latest version. And in addition, the relink feature can also be used to replace low-res with high-res files. This is very helpful when you're dealing with large image files. Now we should check the image rights for legal reasons. I set the duration of the campaign, select the territory and select the use of the material. That's all. You can see the handshake icons. Some of them are green. That means all good. Some of them are yellow. That means this asset is partially available. Click the arrow and you will see that this image is available in Germany, but not in the US. The green ones are available for both territories and during the campaign. The gray icon means this asset is not registered. So it is up to you if you want to register or not. If you want to, that's how it goes. Select the asset and click the Register button. That's all. This button triggers a workflow in the DRM system and a preview file is uploaded for visual approval. Currently, the rights are missing, but as we all know, the legal guys are doing their job right in time, at least today. Let's check again. Okay, we're done. Now we're good to go. Now let's produce our print file and share it with our print service provider, without leaving our Adobe application. I create a folder, which will be the shared folder for our print service provider. I add a new file, with a PDF, with selected job options, including color transformation, bleed and marks, etc. I can choose if I want to create a PDF or an InDesign package. I would like to hand over the high-res PDF. And as you can see, everything is in CMYK. And yes, I prefer to store the company's job options and ICC profiles into my source system, so that everyone has access to it. This ensures a consistent output of every project. So that's it from my side. Back to you, Andy.
Gerd, this was so cool. So you and your designers in that session have worked completely together without ever leaving your Adobe application. This is what I call efficient. So to wrap it up, all of your assets are stored in the cloud and the DOM, so it's easy to share the assets across the teams and across the locations. The only thing you need to do for that is save your assets and files into your connection. And with that, you save it into your Dropbox or any other system. Nothing needs to be on your local drive, because then you can use all of the amazing benefits like versioning of assets, like renditions on demand, and so many other features, URL linking, sharing options, or the backup which comes with all of your cloud storages. Sharing across your application and saving time and stay consistent is the main key for working together in such a complex project. So we are finished with the brochure. Gerd, what is next?
Thanks, Andy. Let's have a look at Illustrator and After Effects. I would like to create a post for the hotel number 7, which is advertised in my brochure. And therefore, I have prepared a template in Illustrator with separate layers like background, call to action, placeholder for video, etc. I will use the CI Hub connector to upload my template into Dropbox or any other target system. The After Effects guys are ready to go. They can use the CI Hub connector in the same way. Drag the artboard to the stage, import the Illustrator file as a comp, and start working with layers. Then pick a video from Dropbox and place it into After Effects as footage. Convert the video placeholder into a mask and do some magic for the animation. Now, creating templates with the CI Hub panel is really cool. If you want to use the template for the web, just use a rendition which fits your needs. If it's for print, use the original. And it's not necessary to store different files with separate resolutions. And if I use Illustrator as a template creator, I'm so much more flexible. I think this is a way to create multiple posts for a number of products, and you can always stay compliant with your CI guidelines. So my job is done. Upload the After Effects project into Dropbox, and let's upload a version without background so that the Premiere guys can add some stuff. So again, nothing needs to be stored locally. Everything is online, everyone has access, and everyone is on the same page. Now let's open Premiere Pro and the CI Hub connector. I'm going to drag the After Effects project we've just stored in Dropbox onto the stage, select the composition, and create a new sequence. So let's get rid of the audio track. I think we don't need it now. So everything's fine, transparency is working, yeah. So now I would like to have a video in the background. So I go to my panel, switch to Getty Images, and do a full text search for videos. Type a search term, hit the return button, and here we go. Let's enlarge the panel a bit. So I select the video and check the option for low resolution. That's okay to get an approval, and it fits to my 1080 anyway. So just drag it into the sequence and put everything in position, just to have the background aligned to the comp. And let's cut it down a bit, and I think that's it. So we're fine, and I would like to add some sound. So I switch to my Dropbox, go to my footage folder and drag an audio file onto the stage. Done. And here we go. Cut it down and do a full render. Yep, I think that's fine for me. So at the end of the session, I would like to have a still to use it at the end of my video. So I'm going to take a screenshot, switch over, yep, take a screenshot, and as we all know, the screenshot is locally stored, but that's not what I want. So I'll come to it later. Let's bring it into position, and that's it. So I go to my CI Hub connector, open the panel, and I can see that this file is locally stored, but I don't want that. So let's relink it and upload it directly into my Dropbox. So images, documents, graphics, video and audio files are valuable assets, but they are only really valuable when they are accessible to everyone, no matter where, no matter when. So that's it from my side. Back to you, Andy.
Okay, let us wrap up what we've just seen. Adobe After Effects is a really cool tool. And the way you presented that, Gerd, I think there's a lot to take away from it. So working with layers in AI files and automatically updating them, that's really nice. I've never seen it before. So the only thing what is missing for our campaign is now we need to create different sized ads and individual banners for the destination's website. This is normally really the boring stuff. So wouldn't it be cool if we have a database publishing functionality on hand, which would automate all of that and would make sure that we're in line and that the quality assurance is just built in? Gerd, I think that's something what you can show us now, right?
Yes, Andy, you're right. Let's have a look at the CI Hub connector again. My goal is to have a number of products available. So let's select our products and tap CSV Export. And when I say products, I mean images, text, pricing, etc. And we all know how boring it is to bring CSV files and images together. With the CI Hub connector is just one click and the records are created. I have prepared a print ad with different formats by using the alternate layout. One is in square and another one is in portrait, and there's a little bit of grab style included. So the first step is to connect the CSV export we've just created. Here we go. And render 3 products into the layout. So let's have a preview. and use the data merge, product number 1 to 3, we're fine, click on OK, and the ad is produced. Fine. And the same goes for the portrait format. There is no additional effort. Open it from the panel, create a preview, and render 3 objects. But now let's select product number 4, 6, and 8 and preview again. Great. So print ads are ready for production. Now we need some banners for the web, and therefore I have an Illustrator template with different formats created with artboards. And this Illustrator file is linked to my InDesign doc via the CI Hub connector. With the same CSV export, I'm able to produce multiple banners with just one click. Or create multiple banners for each product. That depends on your settings in Data Merge. So let's produce a PDF file and store it directly into Dropbox for review. And the cool thing is, if there are any changes regarding images or text, just click the CSV Export button and render again. There are really no limits to what you can do with this feature. And all this is done with Adobe standard products in combination with the CI Hub connector. So that's it from my side. So back to you, Andy.
That's again really cool stuff. That means the database publishing option is just built into the CI Hub connector. You do not have to do anything in addition. It's just there. So I think we have finished our project. We have created an ad. We have changed the artwork. We created an animation banner with After Effects. And we worked on a project within Premiere Pro. We have stored all of our assets in the Dropbox. We used assets from the Pixelbox. We purchased images from Getty. And we checked if we are compliant with the rights through the Federal Service. And we have never left the Adobe Creative Cloud application to do so. This is the biggest time saver and a huge improvement to the whole process and to the way we work together as a team. With this way of working, we got a lot more productive. And this helps us as a team to work together and be more productive for our customers. This is great. What a ride, isn't it? I think in that session, Gerd has presented really amazing stuff. And remember, we never switched the horse. We never left an Adobe application. Everything what we presented you is based on the CI Hub connector. I think we could show you on how easy it will be to work in different cloud storages across locations within your customers and within your team. The last 20 years, it was always a hassle to work with these different storage systems and the data spread around. We believe with the CI Hub connector, it will be easy as never before. And yes, we love to promote the CI Hub connector. I promised you, this is not a promotion, but at the end, we want you to understand the capabilities of our connector. We got so much positive feedback from all of you. We've listened, and everything we could, we put into the product to make it better for you. So our focus will be listening and continuing improving the product. If you want to take away as much as you can, download the CI Hub connector, install it into your Adobe product or even your Microsoft product, and make your working much easier and sharing the data with your customers. So thanks for watching that session. Thanks for staying till the end. And thanks for giving us feedback on how you think the CI Hub connector will improve your work. That's all for today. Enjoy the Adobe Max, and we hope to see you again. Bye-bye.